I just didn't think about it, all right? Leave me alone. It's Thursday, October 29th, 2020. Episode 026. If you're the kind that likes to keep score, you are about to go down the rabbit hole with Joe and Brian. I'm Brian. With me, as always, my good friend Joe. Joe, how you doing?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm doing good.
Good to hear.
Yes. You know, I feel a little ashamed. Last week was episode 025, the big 25, and we didn't even mention it. Didn't even acknowledge it.
Yeah,
I think it's worth acknowledging.
Yeah, and you should feel very ashamed. I'm surprised you showed your face the entire week, man.
Well, I hung my head. I didn't make eye contact. People could tell that I was ashamed of something.
Sounds about right.
They tried to ask me questions, and I was like, I just didn't think about it. All right, leave me alone. Sheesh, mom.
But you know what? The fount of forgiveness runs, is overflowing over here. So we can't hold. We will hold it against you, but only for so long.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Just don't let it happen. Well, I guess we'll never have another 25th episode, so that won't happen again.
That's true, but I guess now I have to. If I blow through 50 without mentioning anything, then.
Since this happened once, if you blow through 50, that's on both of us.
Right. I'd have to get a write up.
Yeah,
a demerit, maybe. I don't know.
Like, stop the show.
Right. Oh my goodness. Well, once again, I don't have the soundboard hooked up, so please allow me to, motherfucker, bring me 2 fingers at Jim Beam.
Jim Beam?
Yeah, that's what the bartender's been bringing me all evening. So I'm really at about 4, 5 fingers, but
oh snap!
That's okay. What did the bartender bring you, Joe?
I've got a basic margarita again. It's funny because in our pre-show I went through drink number 1, which was we got this stuff called Fire Starter. Well, it's not what it's called, but it's an overproof white rum. And it's that type of stuff that if you were to open it within a mile of an open flame, you've got like a problem. Like literally, it's like that. So, but yeah, I drank that down, and a lot of myself, well, I can't do this show without a drink, and so yeah, I thought about having just a regular Pepsi, but I thought, well, what's the fun in that? So I got a margarita instead. So I think I did the right thing.
Well, we acknowledged last week, I think, that I've not been holding up my end of the deal when it comes to this segment of the show. This was a podcast built upon. This is the natural progression of our Thursday night drinking sessions. and while we had plenty of tequila and stuff, it was all really based on beer,
Yeah. If I recall, we would typically start off with I would start off with a Blue Moon, and depending upon where we were, you could be getting.
We were introduced. I had my first Blue Moon at that Hooters that we went to, the one that shut down, the one in Fields Erdel.
Oh yeah.
By what was her name? I can't think. Was her name Raven?
Oh, Raven. Yeah, there was Raven, and then there was Mercenary. Oh yeah, it was Raven.
It was Raven, I think, and
Yeah.
she introduced us to the Blue Moon, and um, yeah, that was pretty good. And then when we was going downtown to Rock Bottom, well, it was whatever they had really. But yeah, it was. Anyway, in that vein, last night I went to the party town, and I went back to the cooler where they keep all the singles,
Hmm.
the single cans, the single bottles, and whatnot. And I picked out 6 cans of craft beer, just based purely off of the pictures on the label.
I mean, that's kind of the only. I mean, if you're picking out a beer or pretty much any drink for that matter, but typically the only thing that's. I mean, unless you have already drank it, someone exposed you to it, or you have some history with it, that's pretty much what you're going off of, right?
Yeah, it is. I'll be honest. I've kind of gotten tired of the craft beer scene. Really.
I remember the last time we talked about it, you're saying how you know hoppy is just things that just have gotten too hoppy for you.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and
maybe we can make a beer that's even more hoppy. Yeah, Bob, let's do that.
right. And so, I mean, I could live the rest of my life on just a few German beers, really. But anyway, I thought this would be fun, so
You care to share the
I
name of
went
them?
of what, the German beers.
Yeah, and we're looking for sponsors, by the way.
Well, Paulaner is probably my favorite,
Uh,
and then after that, there's one called Vehan Stefaner, and then you've got and just even like Bitburgers and oh, there's another Pilsner that, well, Spaten is good, and I can't think of the other Pilsner that I like. But then also Belgium, Leffe, Leffe, I
mhm.
think Leffe. Those are good, and I like the Chimay, brewed by the Belgian monks. Um, I,
It,
I, I, ju- I could just live off of those. American beer is fine, but those they you just I think that's like where people consider beer to have like really originated from, and
Germany,
they yeah, and they do it right, man.
but I heard that in Germany they drink their beer at like room temperature.
Well, they may, and actually, I don't I don't I don't want my I don't want my beer from Germany to be freezing cold. I want it to be cold, but I don't want it. I don't need it to be iced, in a iced glass and whatnot. But um,
It,
it's
you were saying?
I was just gonna say it's just got a flavor that I really. Oh, great! This is a cat piss and pine tree beer.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So to give them credit,
Mike Can?
this is a brewery called Odd 13 Brewing out of Lafayette, Colorado. This is 5.75% alcohol,
Not even
and
6%.
this is called Hop Wizard, and it's got a cool little illustration of a wizard on the can here. So it's definitely dark. It's hazy. It's dark. You can't see through it. There's definitely some substance in it there. Definitely got the pine tree and cat piss smell though.
Mm-mm. Sorry.
So
I mean, nothing. I mean, pine tree. Yeah, that's like Lysol, right?
yeah,
And cat piss, like cat piss. I mean,
you know what, when I say that though, you get it, right?
yeah. It automatically brings to my mind an odor that I.
I didn't coin the term. My friend Scott in Columbus, he's the one that coined the term, or maybe someone else did, and but he's the one that I first heard it from. But he said cat piss and pine tree, and it had just clicked. I was
Oh, yeah.
like, "That's it. That just describes
Like,
this beer perfectly."
yeah, the mind goes, the mind goes to a specific place.
Hmm. So here we go. Bottoms up.
What?
It's the taste is not nearly as bad as I was expecting. It's actually it's got that aftertaste that American craft beers have that kind of go crazy with the hops. I mean, I guess this taste the aftertaste is hops. I
Well,
guess
I
I don't
mean,
know, but
yeah.
it's drinkable.
I mean,
I'll drink it.
it shouldn't be a surprise that it's hoppy because you say it's called Hop Wizard, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's a good thing that I like it, I guess, because I don't know how I did this, but I fucked up and bought two of the same ones last night. So I actually bought 6 beers, but I only got 5 unique ones. So, excuse
well, I
me.
mean, hey, yeah, you're right. Thankfully, you like this one.
Yeah.
So, like, what do we have on tap today?
Jesus. I'll tell you as soon as I stop belching. Jesus, man.
That was fast.
Yeah. My apologies, everyone. Just as a quick aside, this is a bizarre fact about me. I went my entire life not being able to belch,
Wait a second.
and if I could have belched, I would have drank so much more beer in my youth, but I just couldn't. I mean, when I belched, it was completely by accident, and I don't know what happened, but about 5 years ago, man, I just started, and now I probably do it to an excess.
So, what is being able to belch by you and or get you and being able to drink beer?
Let you get all that gas and stuff that this is not scientific at all. This is just me. This is my imagination of how things are. But you drink a lot of carbonated beverages, and all those little carbonation bubbles go down into your stomach, and then they pop, and then they expel these gases, and then you get all full and bloated because of all these little carbonation gases being emitted, and so you belch.
And you create more space. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, you get it out to make more space, man. I mean, what else are you belching? You got to be. What you're belching has to come from somewhere, and I'm just guessing that it comes from these little carbonation bubbles.
Well, I mean, that's how we know that you have a guardian angel watching out because, I mean, you said you would have drank more beer, and so
Yeah,
you may not have lived to tell this tale. You could have belched. So, yeah, yeah, that's funny.
like I did when you called me out on it, I just realized that my beliefs might not have any scientific basis at all. But that's how I envision. That's what I envision happening. So.
That's why they call it a belief. Who cares if it's reality? I believe, damn it.
Shit, Joe! This is going to be a fun show. I can tell already.
Of course, it's going to be.
People, please hang in there.
Go hang in there.
All right, YouTube peoples. This is the time where we beg you to like us.
Don't make us beg.
Don't make us beg, but we're going to anyway. Please, if you're listening, like the episode.
Like it.
I'm assuming you've already subscribed. If you haven't, then
Nope.
I say, why haven't you? It doesn't cost anything. It's free.
No, they haven't subscribed, and they should feel bad for not.
Yes. And most importantly, share if you think we're funny. If you think that I'm an idiot and you want to just say, "Hey, listen to this idiot." That's fine.
Or,
Just share and I'll be that. I'll be that guy.
Or if you just take pity upon us, a pity share looks like a share to us. So
I am not above a pity share.
yeah, we'll take it.
We will take it. Well, you said there is no we have no updates for George Floyd or Ahmaud Arbery this week. And we didn't mention it before, but what are your thoughts? I don't know anything about this really, but I believe there was another shooting in Philadelphia.
Yes, there was.
Yesterday or maybe today. I'm not sure, but I don't know anything about it other than I think the guy had a knife and was going towards the cops, and they shot him. That's all I know. I mean, and that could be wrong. I don't even know. But have you heard anything, and do you have any thoughts on it?
Yes, I think this happened, I believe, 2 days ago, and 1 or 2 days ago. And my understanding that the National Guard has been activated, and
yeah, the BLM activated the riots.
BLM.
That's not fair. That's not fair of me to say, but
yeah.
they are riots have commenced, right?
Yes, and if I understand, the guy was shot 14 times by 2 police officers with tasers. Sorry, he was shot with bullets, but they both had tasers.
Okay.
Hey guys, yeah, they probably shouldn't have shot him 14 times, but you should never be running after anyone with a gun pointed at you with a knife.
That's true.
The classic first rule of a gunfight.
You know what though? You know what I would. There's no way of knowing, but let's say that Joe High's policy of rubber bullets had been instituted. What do you think the result would have been?
He'd be full of rubber, but still alive.
He would still be alive.
Yes. And this is terrible of me to. I mean, I try to not Monday morning quarterback, but I guess I'm doing that now. But when you have 2 cops, one of them, I mean, and they both have non-lethal options, something like this shouldn't happen. I could understand if it's like 1 cop, and let's say you use a lethal option because you want to go home, but.
Was the guy under some sort of influence? I can't imagine why someone would charge 2 cops with guns drawn if
under the influence or mental illness, one of those two. I can't imagine someone without one of those two doing what he did.
Right.
So, in this case, heart goes out to the guy's family who died. Heart goes out to the guy, and heart goes out to the 2 cops that shot him. But
it's interesting that you say that because I was curious. This isn't a Brian original. I heard. I think Scott Adams said this, but he was like, "Do you think that those 2 cops that shot him are happy about it?"
Oh hell no! I mean, sorry. I mean. I say hell no because I assume that they are the types of people that you would want with a badge and a gun.
Right.
But I assume that, but that's not the safest assumption. There are some cops that should not be cops. But I'm going to assume because I like to be able to go to sleep and not be absolutely terrified if I encounter a cop. I'm going to assume that. These guys are of normal constitution and don't feel great about what they did.
Just a heads up, it sounds like you might be leaning away from the microphone or something like that. Your levels went way down there.
Almost choking on it.
Interesting.
See here, yeah, that's odd. Very odd.
You sound better now.
All right, cool. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is our. I've been wanting to for the last 2 or 3 months, I've been mentioning to you, hey, I want to do a Halloween episode. So since Halloween is, huh?
How long have you been saying that?
I don't know, probably at least 2 or 3 months, right?
No, I remember this from like us talking 2-3 days ago.
Yeah, but I think I'd mentioned it before.
Yeah, well, I must not have been paying attention. I regret.
You just weren't listening to me. That's fine.
You're like join the club. No.
But I don't know. I love this is my favorite time of year, man. I like this season. I like the weather. I like I just like this time of year. I like watching scary movies and all that shit. So, and I've been sitting on this story for like since I was like 19 or 20.
All right, so this is going. We're going to.
Yeah, I want to tell you my. I only have very few. I don't have really. To be honest, I don't know. This is my most. This is really the only ghost / haunted house story that I have. Really, I had a few weird things happen when I was living downtown there, but maybe I'll save that for maybe next year.
All right, cool.
But this is cool because there is no like really big crazy climax or anything. This is just a list of events that happened to me as I witnessed them, and I thought you and people listening might get a kick out of it.
But
I think it suffices as a legitimate haunted house story, though.
But before you get to the story, were
Sure.
there any substances such as alcohol in your system?
No.
So you were stone cold sober.
Correct.
All right, that's always a good thing to
It happened. It happened on a Saturday, and I remember because I was back in like I don't know, I was 19 or 20, and I was dating a girl, and
I remember you told me about her.
yes, and I remember I had to get up. Me and this other guy. I was working at Wilmington Iron and Metal, and me and this other guy, we were getting paid extra to paint the break room. And so I remember we got there early and we were painting. We painted the break room from probably 8 o'clock until about, I think we probably quit around noon. And while we did have the windows and doors open, they absolutely did not. So you asked, was I altered? Maybe I was, because the windows and doors that we had open, it was cold out, so they weren't. I guess they weren't open all the time. But anyway, yeah, we definitely caught a paint buzz, but all that really served to do was give me a headache in the afternoon.
Yeah, paint buzzes are the worst.
Yeah. So I picked her up. I showered, and we probably headed out around 1. And I think her aunt lived. I think it was in Lima, Ohio, but I could be wrong on that. But it was like the last, like just one of the last. You never. I mean, I guess a haunted house could be anywhere, but it's like one of the last places you think about a haunted house. But we were going to go stay with her aunt, and so all the way on the drive up there, the 2 or 3 hour drive to her aunt's, she kept telling me about how this place was haunted, and all this, and so that right there, I was like, she was just like priming the pump,
Mm-hmm.
and her aunt. While I don't know that I don't think her aunt was like a legitimate gypsy. She was very gypsy-like.
All right.
Lots of trinkets in meticulously placed everywhere, and beads hanging from doors, and had all these rings all over her freaking fingers. Like,
so,
how do you hold anything?
Yeah. So low key weird.
Yeah. And the husband, the uncle was pretty chill. That I don't know. Even that afternoon, I remember that afternoon. Me and him went to like J.C. Penney or Sears or something to get plastic and staples and whatever, so they could staple up their windows for winter.
Hmm.
I remember doing that, and so I'll admit now that I guess it's quite possible that that this was like a trick that was played on me, but I don't think that it was because nowadays there's ghost stories everywhere. There's a million ghost podcasts. Every travel channel, the Discovery Channel, everyone's got ghost shows. Ghosts were a thing today. They weren't ghosts and stuff. All that kind of stuff wasn't really a thing back then. But I'll admit, I will admit that maybe all of this was just a trick that was played on me. But if that's the case, they never owned up to it. So anyway, here's how things went down. And also when I got there, there was her aunt, her uncle, and they had this Rottweiler, which was like one of the biggest Rottweilers I've ever seen. And apparently, and they had to keep him in the basement while we were there because he did not like strangers.
Yeah, that's a terrible quality to have in a dog.
Right. So as the evening settles in, we're all in the living room, sitting around the coffee table that has, all these trinkets and stuff all over the place, and there's trinkets up on the mantle of the fireplace, and we're all tucked in drinking our coffee and whatnot, and they start telling, and her aunt starts telling these stories about the house, how the haunting, just the things that have happened at that house. And I'm sure I don't remember all of them, but I remember some of them. And here are some of the stories that they regaled me with that evening. One, the aunt talked about one time she was in the bathroom cleaning the tub. She was on her knees, bent over into the tub, scrubbing the tub, and she felt that dog's cold nose, touching her on the small of her back.
That's weird.
And she jumped up real quick and turned around, but the dog wasn't there. And she said she goes into the living room and the dog is stretched out, sawing Z's on the couch. So, okay.
Yeah, that's a useless guard dog.
Yeah, for sure.
Dora would never let that happen to me.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She talked about how they would often, when her and her husband would go out, just go out on a weekend or something like that, where they'd come home, and because she was so meticulous about where her trinkets were placed, she could tell that when she came back, they would be moved in places that they didn't belong. She said that there's one corner in the house that this giant Rottweiler just refused to be in. Like you couldn't force him there. He just, something about that corner, he just would not. He wouldn't go there. And this one is actually more. As I was thinking back and jotting my thoughts down, I realized that this one is a lot more important than I ever gave it credit for in the past. But she said that they were hosting a party one time in their living room, and their living room has this big plate glass window in it,
Hmm.
and their house is kind of like on like the rougher side of town. Um,
Hmm.
and while everybody was there, all of a sudden they heard a gunshot or gunshots, and that plate glass window shattered, and like everybody at the party just like hit the floor. Um, but when everything kind of calmed down and they realized that the plate glass window did not shatter, it was still intact, and yeah, so true or false, I don't know, but
Oh,
those are the stories that they told me.
No, wait a second, wait. So, gunshot outside.
They heard gunshots. Everybody thought that the plate glass window shattered, and so you don't stand there and look at it. You put your head down, you hit the floor. But for whatever reason, that's not what happened. The plate glass window did not shatter, although everybody thought that it did. Yeah.
So, do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Why not?
Uh,
I mean, you had spooky-ish happen to you and
yeah.
this chick. So, yeah, typically seeing is believing.
Well, but I never seen anything. These are just stories that were being told to me.
All right. I
don't know, man. I don't know. My thoughts on God and religion and everything has changed so much that if I'm going to be an atheist and I'm going to say that I don't believe in God or any of it, then doesn't that mean unless there's something else, I don't know where ghosts would fit into that worldview. I don't know.
Yeah. What I find is funny is that people who do believe in God say they don't believe in ghosts.
Right.
Yeah, because they're all many stories of Jesus casting spirits here and spirits going into pigs and the pigs go drown themselves and stuff like that. So, I mean, it seems to me that your view, if you don't believe in God, that's a more consistent view to also not believe in ghosts than someone who believes in gods but doesn't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I told you that I had gotten up early to paint, and it had been a long day for me, and so I ended up going to bed early before everyone else.
Wait. You said all that still to not get to the part that happened to you?
Yeah, these are all just stories that was told to me.
Oh, okay.
While we were sitting around drinking coffee and just, shooting the shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I go to bed before everyone else. The bedroom is up on the second floor, and it's really it's like these really narrow and steep stairs to get up to the bedroom. And the bedroom is not very big. It's fine. There's a bed, and that's all I needed. So I'm laying there, but of course I have all this shit in my head that they had been talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and so I swear, and I just all night long, even after Karen came to bed, all night long, I was laying there and I could hear their dog in the basement whimpering all night. I could hear the dog whimpering.
Okay.
And I swear, and again, I swear to God. Well, I don't swear to. I swear to. Wow, that's funny.
The entity you don't believe in. Okay.
Yeah. All night long, I kept hearing footsteps coming up the stairs. Nothing ever, no one ever got there. But all night long, I heard footsteps coming up the stairs. I yeah, I did. Um, and really, the door was just like half open, and I can remember laying there just staring at that door, just thinking like, just let it move even a little bit, and I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. I'm driving back to Wilmington tonight. Just let that door move even a little bit. I was just staring at it, and it's kind of dark and light from a window, and you can't see well, but I'm staring at that door. I was just waiting for it to move, and I was ready to just lose my shit. But I eventually fell asleep around 2 or 3, but I don't know. I'm thinking it was in the morning. I'm guessing it was like in the morning, like 5 o'clock. I'm guessing. This is what I perceived. I was woken up by the sound of what to me sounded like a bunch of. Are you familiar with like Black Cat firecrackers?
I'm familiar with them, but I did not know they had a distinct sound.
Just Black Cats, where you light one and the whole pack goes off. Essentially,
yeah. Right.
That's what I woke up to. Was what sounded like someone let off a pack of Black Cats in the street, just pop, 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 just real loud, and that's what woke me up.
Sorry, about what time of the year was this?
This was probably around October, November.
All right.
And so, that woke me up, and that's obvious. And I was awake by then. And the only other real weird thing that I'd say happened was we were all in the kitchen that morning. She had made us breakfast, and I know that there's a million reasons to explain this, but the freezer door just popped open, seemingly on its own, and a can of orange concentrate fell out onto the floor. I don't know. I'm sure that all it was she just didn't get it closed good or something like that. But as I was writing all these things down and thinking about it, what the correlation I made, which was me hearing. Well, I mean, seriously, why would anyone be letting off firecrackers at 5 a.m. anywhere for any reason? And I drew in a maybe firecrackers going off could sound a lot like gunshots, and
well, it's a Chinese tradition that on your birthday you let off. I mean, you start off the morning with like what seems to be like a string of 500 firecrackers around 6 a.m. just to I guess to wake up the spirits and let them know that you're here.
Well,
but you weren't in China.
It's entirely possible that they had some Chinese neighbors, maybe. But I don't know, man. Anyway, so that's my ghost story, man. It's like I said, there's nothing, there's no big climax.
Okay. I'm sitting there waiting for something to jump out of a closet with a knife, or
I told you that it wasn't nothing like that.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you're mad. You hear a ghost story, you're expecting it, hee haw, something.
I failed. Well, all right, fine.
No, you didn't fail. You told the story as it was. It just, my mind just went running.
But are you more inclined to believe a story like mine or a story that seems fantastical?
I guess it depends on the credibility of the person telling the story. If you were, if you were to tell me a story and you're like, and then the chick started floating and X, Y, and Z, I'd be, oh well, you know what, Brian, I would ask the question: were you drunk? Was she drunk? Were there any other substances involved? And then I mean, if you were to say no, and I know you, and you to me aren't a terrible liar, I'd be inclined to believe you. But yeah,
Okay. All right. I was like I said, I was going to save this for next year, but I feel like I feel like I let you down, Joe. So,
ain't letting anybody down.
um,
Okay, okay, let's hear it.
all right. Are you familiar with the phenomena of the old hag syndrome and the phenomena of sleep paralysis?
I am familiar with sleep paralysis. That's happened to me before.
Yes. Well, sleep paralysis and the old hag syndrome kind of go hand in hand a lot. And the old hag syndrome is kind of it's a thing that people report where they feel like there's an old they report an like a witchy type hag type creature almost on sitting on their chest while they're laying there, and they can't do anything because they can't move, they can't do anything, they just have to lay there.
That is scary.
Yeah. And so um okay, and now again, I know right up front that no. First of all, I want you to know that I did not come face to face with an old hag or anything like that, but that I know I at that time I had been listening to a lot of paranormal podcasts, so
so you're
I know that I had, again, I'll use the term prime the pump. I know that I was setting myself up for shit like this. But and it was those old hag sleep paralysis stories that always got to me the most when I'd listen to them. And so on a couple occasions, I would on two occasions, I experienced sleep paralysis. I'm laying there, and there is, I felt a presence right there. I'm laying on my back, and I felt a presence on my right side, on my right hand side, holding my right arm down, and I could tell that they were there. And I remember thinking that I'm aware enough that I know what's happening. I know that there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and I hype myself up to say, all right, I'm going to fight back.
Oh yeah.
And so I remember taking my other arm and just with all of my energy that I could, I flipped over and I just jabbed a punch deep into this thing. Like I was just like, I'm going to fuck this thing up.
Like whatever it is, it's going to feel the full force of BC Newman.
Yeah. But I did that, and then it grabbed and I felt it grab my arm that I punched with, and I freaked, and then I woke up. And
did you scream like a little bitch?
I don't scream like a little bitch, man.
Oh yeah, like a man.
I'm not capable of that.
I would have.
But that happened to me. That happened to me on like 2 occasions, and I've had things like and what I think probably one of the worst things that can happen is that you wake up but you're still asleep, but you think you're awake.
Wait.
Because
you wake up, but
you think you're awake, but you're really still asleep, but you think you're awake.
That's never. Well, that would be scary.
I've had that before where I one time I was in bed and I rolled over and I rolled my hand over, and it went into like it was like into a ratty thing, like a head of hair.
Huh.
And then I realized, wait a minute, I'm by myself. This shouldn't be. And then obviously then I woke up, but And the only other, and the only other weird thing that's happened to me, and both of those things took place when I was downtown, and this took place when I was downtown as well.
Mhm.
I was listening to a podcast, and someone on the podcast, they had someone call in and was telling a story, and the story, the guy telling the story, in the story, I can't remember the story exactly, but he was in his house, and he was running to his house. He got to his house. He'd shut the door, and he's in there with his family or whatever. And then there was a knock on the door.
Yeah.
And so I'm laying there in bed listening to this podcast, and this guy said there was a knock on the door. And this is like around midnight, 12:30 or so.
Wait. Does he get up and open the door?
No, he didn't.
Oh,
But when he said that, as I'm laying there listening to it, there was a knock on my fucking door.
Was it Debo? Debo with a badge?
Well, I don't know. But I'm laying there, and I'm like, so I got up, and so here's the weird thing. I got up. There's no way in hell I was going to open the door.
Mm-hmm.
But I got up and I went and I listened. I went to the door, and I could hear. It sounded like the hallway was filled with people, and like in movies when there's like a bunch of people in a party, but they're like background people, and all you hear is just like background noise.
Like murmur.
You can't make out anything people are saying. You can just hear people conversating and whatnot. It sounded like the entire hallway outside my door was filled with a bunch of people. And I'm thinking, well, I mean, I guess it's possible because the apartment directly across from me was rented by like these three young 20-somethings who they seem to be partying all the fucking time. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. But as I was sitting there listening, the sound of all these people just kind of dissipated, and then it went silent. And I don't know, man. Those are the sum total of all of my weird, quote unquote, paranormal experiences.
Yeah. The last two were grade A, but the first one was bunk.
That hurts me, Joe.
I'm sorry.
But I accept it.
Yeah. Truth hurts. Wouldn't lie to you, but.
But did you see like the equivalency between them hearing gunshots and me hearing firecrackers kind of being a very, very, very similar? I mean, I could have mistaken the firecracker for gunshots, or they could have mistaken the gunshots for firecrackers. I don't know. It seemed kind of bizarre.
It's bizarre, but yeah.
And I didn't say this was a ghost story. I said it was a haunted house story.
Fair enough. I mean, hey, lazy listening on my part. Well, that and the overactive imagination, and just for just let you know, the reason I don't watch scary movies or listen to ghost stories is because I've got an overactive imagination, and that stuff would I would end up dreaming about that and waking up in a cold sweat. So
okay.
So as a result, like if someone's like, oh yeah, like Joe and I we were watching a horror movie, you know right then and there that they are lying to you because that's just something I don't do.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
I am a straight up 100% coward in that respect. I like that whole like screaming like little bitch. That would be me. It's like because never.
Fair enough.
And you like that stuff? I never understood why people are like, I want to be scared. Why would anyone want to be scared?
I can't answer that.
It's fair enough.
All right. Well, thank you for indulging me, you and everybody listening. If you're still here,
They're still there.
Yes. Um, so moving on, I don't have any stories really for this, but I wanted to talk about it, and that is Hunter Biden. What did you call? Did you call it the laptop from hell?
Yeah, I think that's what I think. I heard Trump refer to it several times as a laptop from hell. And
Okay.
just so we can get smart on it. What exactly is that? What are they talking about?
Yeah, as I understand it, it's basically a laptop that has just like every political weapon that the Republicans could possibly want
It sounded
on
like
it. On it. I mean,
a collection of somebody's worst moments in one spot.
yeah. And so apparently the story, as I understand it, goes Hunter Biden. He had a laptop, a MacBook Pro, I think, and had issues with it. And for some reason, he took it to a repair shop. And first of all, you have to know, if you take your computers into some place to get repairs, the people that work there are going to find your shit. And they're going to copy it off. So just know that if you take a computer or a laptop into some place to get repaired, and you have some pictures that you would rather no one else see, you better make sure they're not on that computer, because the people that work there will find them. And
quick question. So do you think that it's one of those things where, okay, yeah, we're going through and we're checking files, and oh my goodness, yeah, there's Hunter doing this and Hunter doing that, or do you think it's like those people are like, yeah, like we've got this person's computer, and this chick was hot, so I'm going to go looking through her computer and seeing what I can find. Which one do you think is more likely to be?
I don't know, man. I think it's probably more that they just do a search for like JPEGs and PNG files to see what, and just kind of see what comes up, man. Now, granted, if the chick who brought the laptop in was hot, you might do some extra deep searches, but yeah, but anyway, just trust me, that happens. But the problem is by the time you get when you get to the point where you have to take your computer in to get fixed, it means you probably can't access it anyway.
Yeah. So moral of the story is
what you need to do is just destroy that computer and buy a new one, because but apparently he took it in, and for whatever reason he never came and picked it up.
Right.
And so this guy, and I don't think there's been any question, this guy is a Republican, and he was like, well, I have this and he's not picked it up, so
guess it's mine now.
I'm going to turn this over to Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
And so that's how I understand it. Now, whether all that's true or not, or what, I don't know, but I am here to tell you that I have seen the pictures and the videos, and they are legit. And
so quick question. So, but I think there's that's not the that's the most salacious part, but that's not the most impactful thing that was found in the.
Correct. Yeah. The other thing was with emails and stuff, and a lot of email correspondence, and it was and what was weird, like as soon as, first of all, this when this was reported on, which was almost never. I think they asked Comey or maybe not Comey, but one of the other FBI people. I can't think of his name, but he kept saying a weird thing. He kept saying that the emails on this had they didn't have metadata.
That's not normal. I thought every time you sent something there was metadata. The fact that we're on this call right now, this talk right now, there's metadata being recorded or generated.
Well, again, this was from one of the lead architects of the impeachment hoax. So I take what he says with a ginormous grain of salt. So, but that's just what he kept saying. But I don't know, man. If these pictures and videos are legit, I have no reason to think that everything else is legit. But it doesn't matter because half the country doesn't even know about it because it's not being reported on. So it really doesn't matter.
I mean, I can imagine the pictures all being real and the emails not being real.
Okay.
I mean, because okay, so
so you're telling me that you really, honestly, truly don't think that Joe Biden or Hunter Biden are compromised in any way, or that they've done anything that illegal with these foreign states?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that to your point that, well, hey, the pictures are real, so I have every reason to believe that everything else on there is real as well. That's the part that I'm saying that I think that portion's a leap.
All right. Well, maybe this is me being kind of a tech elitist, but I, for one, don't think that whoever that guy was, Clapper. I think it was Clapper. I don't think he has any fucking clue what metadata even is. So,
but okay.
when he tells someone from CNN that these emails don't have metadata, I don't believe him. I'll just say it. I don't believe him.
Okay. Is it possible to have an email that doesn't generate metadata?
Well, I think what they're saying is that they were copied.
Okay, so they were copied from some other place.
You sent me an email. You sent me an email today of if you was to take an email that you got from someone and you just done like a control select all copy and then you pasted that email and sent it to me, I wouldn't have that original email's metadata. I would only have that original email's text, right?
Yes.
I'd have the metadata of you sending me the email, but the original email, when you just do a control copy, when you select everything and just control copy and control paste, you're not getting the metadata. You're just copying the content of the email. So
he's suggesting that the emails were copied from some original source, but they weren't actually sent someplace. Sorry. No. He's only assuming that he's only saying that the emails were copied from someplace.
Yeah. Well, that's the only way that I can think of getting email without the metadata.
Right.
Unless they're just made up out of whole cloth, then.
Well, I mean, it's funny because we've I'm sure this has come across your desk sometime where they want to set somebody up, so they put kiddie porn. They can get kiddie porn on somebody's computer. So if you can imagine a world where kiddie porn pops up on your computer, then you can also imagine a world where emails pop up on your computer, right?
Man, probably, but not as easily.
Well, why? I mean, I would imagine that.
I mean, have you ever looked at the metadata of an email?
I don't think I would know metadata if it hit me in the face.
I mean, it's all kinds of. I mean, it's all kinds of information about source, where it came from. It's just, um, I'll when we're off of here, I'll tell you or show you how to. I mean, you can look at the metadata of any email. I'll show you how to do it.
But I mean, if
But
but
it,
but to you, an email, I guess to me, an email without metadata, it's is suspect out the gate. And
sure,
once again,
yeah.
this isn't coming from a oh my goodness, I need to support Joe Biden. This is coming from a wait a second, you know. Um,
Well, again, I've not seen the emails,
Fair
and
enough.
so I'm just saying that that's what this guy was saying,
Uh,
and he could have been lying. I mean, he's told plenty of lies these past 3 4 years. So
well, if
this
it
would,
if it was Clapper, the guy who lied to Congress, you probably shouldn't. You know, you shouldn't countenance much of what he says, but I'd be interested in learning a little bit more about that in the future. Even regardless of the of what happened in the election, um, because well, yeah, my understanding is the emails suggest that, or they more than suggest, they drive home the idea that Biden Jr. was into a whole bunch of shady dealings, and he was introducing Chinese businessmen to his dad and taking money
right,
as a result. So, I mean.
right.
Um,
It's. But the thing is it's not going to have an effect on the election because the mainstream media have effectively made it. Like I said, there's probably half the country that doesn't even know about this stuff.
and truth be told, the only reason I know about it is because I watch all of Trump's rallies, and he
Yeah.
talks about it. But other than that, I think maybe maybe the first day after actually, and he talked about it in the last debate.
Okay.
But other than that, there hasn't been much in the way of coverage on this thing.
Well, since we're kind of let's use this to kind of the elections are right around the corner.
Today's the what the 28th or
Yeah.
sorry 29th. Yes, yes.
So what are right now? What are our thoughts on the election? What are your thoughts on the election?
I think we'll see I think we'll see something similar to what we saw in 2016. I think it's likely that Trump's going to lose the popular vote but win the electoral college. Um, if you look at where Trump's going and the reaction he is getting in those places, it seems to me that there's every reason to believe that um, he's expanded the pie and they're going to be coming out in droves. I think, yeah, in places like Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, especially with with all the some people say riots, some people say protest.
Hmm.
I think that's going to affect a certain demographic to be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this stuff is happening. Now the crazy thing is, why those people will then go pull a lever for Donald Trump is beyond me because this is all happening on his watch. I still don't understand how he's a sitting president and he could he's been able to I guess convince a good portion of the people that yes this is happening on my watch and no I don't have any responsibility for it. But um,
I think from the beginning he's framed this as him against the deep state, right?
um,
He's even though he's president and even though he won, he's still the underdog the because his he's going up against the deep state.
well,
Now I'm just saying that
oh yeah,
whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm just saying that that's I think the narrative that he's managed um, to establish.
well, yeah. I mean, that's if he could, if he, well, I mean, it appears to be working. So yeah, I believe he will win. I think he'll probably end up winning the electoral college more than he did last time,
Mm.
by a wider margin. I think he'll also lose the popular vote by a wider margin because you see all these stories about, oh, people in places like Maryland, New York, and California, they're showing up and they're, waiting 2-3 hours to go and vote. And I'm like, oh, that's great, but too bad that doesn't matter. Uh, I've also heard scenarios floated that Trump is counting on what he calls the red mirage or red wave,
Okay.
um, which basically typically Republicans are more likely to show up that day and vote, and I guess Democrats are more likely to show up before and do early voting / mail-in voting. But yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah, I think he's going to win, unfortunately.
Really? Unfortunately, you would rather have Biden as president?
No, actually, I would have said the same thing. Biden would win, unfortunately, as well. Yeah, I guess this is one of those things where I don't like either of them, but I'm like the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, and I also don't
Mm.
trust Kamala Harris any further than I can uh, throw the building.
Well,
I'm
there
thinking
was a
about it.
reason there's a reason that she was one of the first out of the primaries, right?
Oh yeah, I remember she wasn't one of the first, but she did. The timing by which she dropped out was very curious, and I mean, but we've talked about this before. How within like a week span, if there were 9 people in the race, 6 of them dropped out within like 3-4 days, and so um, that was all very suspect from the word go, and made me think, okay, the Democratic Party isn't serious about winning.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment to make, I would think. Yeah, I would say that everything they've done just doesn't make sense.
Like if you were serious about being the party of the future, you don't go out and find a 75-year-old man.
Right.
74, 72. He's older than Trump, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I don't think they were. And also, they weren't serious when they picked Hillary Clinton either. So, what are your thoughts?
I think Hillary, the Hillary's not Hillary being the nominee last time was they just owed her.
Yeah, that's the problem. You shouldn't be owed the presidency. Yeah, and
Well,
to
yeah,
my knowledge,
that's absolutely true. But that was the case, I think, with her.
I don't think they owed it. I don't think they thought they owed it to her. I think she had the quote unquote star power. But yeah, it was in 2008, the primary for the Democrats was a contest of star power, and Barack Obama had more of it. And the crazy thing is, had he not won in 2008, he would not have been able to be president after that because by then he would have had a record and people would have been like, yeah, we can't vote for this.
Just letting you know, and I know that you're not doing anything different, but for some reason you've been sounding very distant over the last 30 seconds.
Can't have that.
Now you sound good.
Uh,
I don't know. Weird.
Very odd.
What do I think? You know what? I'm going to make one of those predictions, and I'm sure that um, I'm going to be wrong. But if I'm right, I'll want to look really smart.
What's that?
I say Trump wins not only a landslide in the electoral college, but a landslide in the popular vote,
Yeah,
and
I would be
people are
surprised
going to
by.
lose their fucking minds.
If Trump wins in a landslide, you know, yeah, fire up the body bags and
Oh, I hope not, man.
the suicide watch rooms and various mental hospitals will be overflowing.
Joe, if there is a civil war after this election, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to sell everything, liquidate. I'm going to move to some place like Montana or some place where I can just find some acreage where I'm away from everyone, and I'm just going to establish. Um, yeah, and you, my friend, are welcome to come along if you'd like. But
But
I just don't. I'm going to check out.
yeah, but you realize if there was a civil war, the very last place it would be very effective would be in Kentucky, because
Well,
Kentucky's deep red, right?
I know, but I just want to get away. I mean, I seriously, I just want to get away from it all.
Oh,
If I could afford it, I'd buy Epstein's Island. Apparently, he's not need. He don't need it anymore. But I don't have that kind of money, so I'm going to have to settle for just
a plot of land in Montana.
a plot of land in Montana.
Well, it's funny because I've been reading stories about how real estate in Montana has gone through the roof because
Okay, well,
all the rich people who want to get away from COVID. Yeah, I had some clients where they were like, yeah, we're out here in Montana, and we've been out here much longer than we thought we would because we're trying to get rid of get away from the whole COVID stuff.
fucking COVID. You know what sucks is wearing one of those goddamn masks in the cold when you're wearing glasses. Because you know what happens?
And fogs up.
All that hot air from your mask blows up into your glasses and fogs the shit out of them.
You're wearing a mask outside.
I just come in from outside. I like last night. I wore a mask from my car to the party town, and I was in party town for probably 10 minutes before my glasses stopped fogging up every time I exhaled. Hate it.
That's funny to me. Funny to me.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, I mean, do you think this whole COVID thing is going to go away after the election?
Jesus, I don't know, man. Yeah, if you asked me 3 months ago, yeah, I would have said yes. I don't know, man. Maybe they're gonna use it if we don't vote the right way. Maybe they're going to use it as punishment for us.
Punishment.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've said everything that there is that I have that I've already said everything that I believe about it. I don't know. I just don't know. But we're there's going to, if it doesn't go away, there's going to have to be a point where we decide. I mean, after 9/11, and it is after 9/11, and we had the Patriot Act. The interesting thing was everybody on the left was like, "Oh, you can't give away your freedoms for security," and now everybody on the left is like, we got to give up all our freedoms for this security. But I say that, but I say that only because, and I say that, but I mean, had things been reversed, it would have been the same. Republicans would have. I'm not saying that to denigrate Democrats. I'm positive that it's all a political game, and if a Democrat would have been in office when 9/11 happened and instituted a Patriot Act, the Republicans would have been crying about freedoms and security. I'm just saying, that's just how it is. But
quick question. I remember us having having conversations about the Patriot.
I know.
Patriot Act.
I can't. I'll admit, I was one of those. I followed the Republican line more than I wasn't as much of an independent thinker then as I hope that I am now.
Yeah.
I'll admit that I I was on the wrong side of things back then.
Well, that wasn't what I was looking for, but yeah, I guess I was checking to see if your thoughts had evolved on the issue, because I remember thinking to myself, yeah, security for over freedom is a losing situation. I think even what Benjamin Franklin,
Hmm.
that whole quote, "He who would exchange security over the safety over freedom deserves neither."
One of those old people said it,
Yeah, yeah, I think that was him. I'll find it out just for good measure, because yeah, but
but I
that's
kind of feel that's where we're at now. I mean, we're going to have to I mean we're going to have to decide whether we're going to accept this and move on, or let it destroy. And make no mistake, I mean, I'm going to come out of this just fine. You may come out of this just fine. The people that are hurt by this economy being shut down and everything are poor people. The people whose the little stipend that the government sent out 3 months ago to help, it didn't do anything.
yeah. To me, them not having done anything else for those people is criminal.
Absolutely. It's the poor people that are going to suffer if this keeps going on. I'll be fine. I'll be annoyed by foggy glasses, but um, I'll be okay. It's the people that are going, who are barely making it, and are, it's we're going to have to make a decision, man. And if you say, are you okay with grandma dying because you had to take a mask off? Well, I don't know, man.
I think
I already
the part that I'm mindful of, and I don't see talked about enough, is kids in school. Like you can't convince me that doing school online from home is effective as
I agree.
going and sitting in the classroom. It's gonna. I mean, and the other thing is that rich kids are people. Sorry, kids of people of means. They're gonna those parents are gonna find ways to get a tutor or some type of supplementary you know you know supplement their kids' education. But if you're someone who's not rich, and now your mom is your school teacher as well, and she wasn't trained for that. That can't be good. Can't be good.
Right.
And so it's very worrying.
That's a great point. And also, I've heard people starting to ask the questions about all of the other. I don't know if intangible is the right word, but the mental health issues and the depression issues
Well, I'm actually
and all the
surprised.
other things that go along with this.
I'm surprised we haven't heard more of more what domestic abuse, and people, yeah, kind of like you said, people, yeah,
That's that domestic abuse, child abuse.
yeah, because
Um,
yeah, before dad could go, or dad,
yeah,
mom or dad, or the abuser could go with not be in the house, but especially for a few months there wasn't anything. He or she wasn't supposed to be out of the house, and there wasn't anything going on anyway, and so um, terrible business.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Um, well, let's move on, Joe. We're at like we're coming up on an hour and a half already, so
Wow.
this has been fun. But let's talk about some other things here. This next we're going to go back to Halloween again, and we're going to talk about. Um, and this is one of your ideas, and I like it. We're going to talk about Halloween candies and Halloween costumes.
All right, cool. Um, yeah, so in keeping with the Halloween theme, I thought to
Yeah.
myself, we've all been kids before. When was the last time you went trick or treating as a kid?
Oh, I was probably 10, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11, 9 or 10, maybe.
I think I may have been as old as 14.
The thing here's my situation was my best friend growing up was 3 or 4 years older than me, and so I kind of he wasn't about it, and so I really wasn't about it. I just yeah, but so anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
So if I don't know, are kids going trick or treating this year?
That's a good question. I'll bet you there's some COVID safe thing that people are doing, man. I don't know, Joe. That's a really good question. And for some reason, I never thought about. Well, I guess I never thought about it because I don't have kids. But um, are kids going trick or treat? So what would be the alternative?
Yeah, but even so if kids do go trick or treating, there's some candies that you should give them, and there's some candies you should stay away from. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
what do you want to hear first? The ones to stay away from, or the ones to give them?
um, don't stay away from it. Don't stay away from this candy. What
Okay.
is it?
And okay, so I'm going to name these off, and you're going to tell me what your thoughts are about them.
Alrighty.
Okay. So number 10, in terms of staying away from, black licorice.
Amen, brother.
Okay. It's funny
I'm all
because
about.
yeah. I think giving kids licorice, any form of it, for trick or treating for Halloween is tantamount to child abuse.
Yeah, I can if I was a kid
I mean,
and I got that, I would be pissed.
yeah, I was pissed. Yeah, pissed. And number 9 is a close relative of number 10, licorice. Good and plenty. You know what those things are?
I do, and I didn't like them either.
Yeah, they're like licorice hard candy. They're like licorice candy in a box.
Yeah, no.
Terrible, awful, terrible.
You're getting eggs. You're getting eggs later on tonight, baby.
I think we should probably give like a rating
Okay,
system.
we're going to give a. Okay, this is going to be how many rolls of toilet paper do they get?
No, I was thinking
Oh,
lowest, the worst. You get rocks.
okay.
Just middle brow bad. You get eggs, and
Okay.
if you like it, you get toilet paper.
What paper?
Toilet paper. TP.
Oh,
So
okay.
for me, if someone were to give me licorice or the good and plenties, they would get rocks.
Okay, yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
you know what Mary Janes are?
I'm in love with Mary Jane.
Um,
She's my. Probably a different thing. No, what are they?
Let me send you the link that you'll be able to see them.
Okay, that'll help.
Yeah, because you said it's one of those things where like you. I mean, I didn't even know what these things were called, but I knew I didn't like them. You see it?
Bringing it up now.
And you got
Oh my God! Those were like the last things that I would choke down out of a bag, out of my Halloween bag.
actually those things I wouldn't even choke them down. They would never get eaten. Uh, number 7 on the list for worst Halloween candy would be Tootsie Rolls. I mean,
I like Tootsie Rolls.
yeah, I
Man.
like Tootsie Rolls too. Like, I mean, if you know, I never liked. I mean, if someone gave me Tootsie Rolls, I wouldn't be happy about it, but I wouldn't be pissed. So yeah, if someone threw licorice or some of this other garbage, I'd be pissed. But Tootsie Rolls were those would only get toilet paper. They would get toilet paper. Number 6 on the list, Necco wafers.
I'll be honest with you. Let me look them up real quick.
You've never had Necco wafers?
Oh, no, I didn't like those. No. Hated them.
Number 5 on the list, Smarties.
I'd eat them. I definitely ate the chocolate-based candies first, but I would eventually get to the Smarties, and they were okay for what they were. So I would give, what was it, rocks and then eggs?
Rocks, eggs, toilet paper.
I would do eggs.
Eggs. Eggs for me as well. And for Necco wafers, eggs. Next on the list, wax cola bottles.
Yeah, I know what these are, and these were like probably one of the most pointless things that I ever got. Rocks. They get rocks.
Yeah, rocks. And you see number 3?
Yeah, circus peanuts.
Yeah, rocks.
For sure.
Number 2.
There's no redeeming quality. I don't even know what kind of what they were going for, really.
Yeah. Number 2, peanut butter kisses.
Peanut butter kisses.
I mean, like I said.
First of all, it's hard to fuck up peanut butter.
They found a way, man. They found a way. I mean, you see
I'm looking. These look like little cookies with No, I'll eat the fuck out of these.
No. Did you get the link I sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And are you looking at it? You should see.
Yeah, but there's like a bunch of pictures at the top, but I don't see any names associated.
Oh yeah. Scroll down. You should see like it'll say like the worst Halloween candy in red font, large letters.
I completely missed these. Wait a second. Let me peanut. Oh, wait a second. So
The
okay,
orange and black.
Yeah. No. Did not. No, these are rocks. Yeah, because I mistook these for Mary Jane.
Yeah, that's why it was important to find a story that had them labeled, because a good portion of them I would not have known.
I missed this graphic. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Rocks.
Yeah, rocks.
And the last one, candy corn. I actually kind of like those.
I like candy corn. There's a lot better candies.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say. I guess I would give them toilet paper. I'm with you. I could. I mean, if there's a dish of candy corn on the table, if I go to Mom's and she's got like a big dish of candy corns on the table, I will probably eat 2 or 3 handfuls.
Yeah, I mean those are like grazing candies. They're like
grazing candy. Yeah.
They're the corn chips of candy, where you just see yourself. You just they're eating them. Then you just feel icky because you've eaten all this sugar.
Just pure sugar.
Yeah. But one observation about all these candies is these are candies you get and give to children if you do not like children.
Okay.
So the house where they're giving out licorice and Good and Plenty's and the Mary Janes, those people hate kids.
I'm curious about these Mary Janes. I'm looking at it. I'm not even sure if I've ever had one. I mean, they kind of look familiar, but maybe not. I don't know. I may have to. Well, I'm not going to do any investigation into it. But.
Well, yeah. if you know anyone who like you know any kids who are going to go trick or treating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do.
Next week when you go to go to the fam's place, check and see if the little one has any of these. They'll probably be at the bottom of the bag or the trash
Right,
can.
right,
But
right.
yeah, terrible.
Okay, okay. We'll do. We'll do.
Let's see here, scrolling down, and okay, so now candies that the candies that you should be giving people are kids.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is a little bit further down. I don't see any graphics for this one. So
Yeah, but I okay. Yeah, I'm
so
good. Go.
number 10, Hershey bar.
Hmm.
Yeah,
What
chocolate.
what are your thoughts on the sizes? The little what do they call them? The
The
little
fun size.
snack, the fun size or the full size? What's your
I think like what uh, three fun sizes equal a full bar. If I don't think I've ever there was one place I went, one house as a kid I remember they were giving out 4 Hershey bars, and God love those people.
yeah? No, I'm all about Hershey chocolate. Love it.
Yeah,
Um,
uh,
they only get toilet paper.
yeah, toilet paper. Nerds.
Right now, I'm telling you right off the bat, I'm not a fan of sour candies. So
I,
I'm giving all sour candies are getting rocks for me.
rocks. Um, nerds. I actually like sour candies. They would get toilet paper.
Okay, okay.
Butterfinger.
Yep, love them.
Yeah,
Toilet paper.
toilet paper. Great. Yeah, we agree. Kit Kat.
I like Kit Kats, man.
It,
I like dissecting them as I eat them.
it, when was the last time you had a Kit Kat?
Uh, 2 years, two maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
No, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, as soon as when I first moved into this place, this condo, I was like, I'm gonna participate in humanity, and I'm gonna buy a bunch of uh, Halloween candies, and I'm gonna open my garage door, and I'm gonna sit there and just let all the little kids in their costumes run up on me, and I'm gonna give them all these great candies. All the candies I bought are all the good candies on this list, and um, nobody showed nobody. I had
I'm
like
sorry.
a ginormous bag of all of these candies that I didn't give away, and so um, yeah, I've had Kit Kats. I've had all these candies within the last couple of years.
See, I like Kit Kats, but I never would think to go and buy one.
Yeah, I wouldn't go buy one, but
Yeah,
I'd
Kit Kats are something I would eat. Like if you're in the office and somebody has a little miniature ones that they're giving away, because they're giving away the kids Halloween candy.
right.
Yeah. Let's see here. Twix,
Love them.
love them. And let's see here. Sour Patch Kids.
Nope.
No. Yeah.
Nope.
Something wrong with you.
Skittles is the one thing I might make an exception. I can eat some Skittles because they're not strictly sour.
Yeah. It seems as if their commercials have been getting trippier and trippier.
Oh, I haven't seen one. So.
Yeah, there's a commercial where it's like a Jamaican guy milking a giraffe. and
Whoa, Mon.
yeah, yeah, and he's milking the giraffe, and Skittles are coming out. It's weird.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
I'm a little disturbed.
yeah. I mean, the very first time I saw that commercial, I had to check my dream. Like, wait a second, am I? Did I just? Am I hallucinating?
Yeah.
Next in line is Snickers.
Mm. I love Snickers too, man. That's a weird thing. I think Snickers grows on adults more than kids. When I was a kid, I never really cared for Snickers that much, but um, I'm telling you now, these 3, 2, and 1 are probably my top favorites.
All right. Yeah, I never knew a time where I did not like Snickers.
Okay.
Let's see here. M&M's.
Yeah.
Do you,
Love
you,
M&M.
you have a preference for peanut or non-peanut?
I love them both equally.
Yeah. What do you think about all these new flavors? They got like pretzels, peanut butter, mint, several other flavors.
Well, Reese Pieces is what I consider the peanut butter version of M&Ms, right? They're shaped like M&Ms. They look like M&Ms, but they taste like Reese peanut butter cups.
Yeah, I never liked Reese's Pieces. Reese's Pieces, never liked them.
Oh, yeah,
and that's odd too because I love M&Ms. It's like, yeah, I mean, let me take a step back. It's not that I didn't like them, but if I would reach in and think they were M&Ms and be disappointed that they weren't M&Ms.
Oh, well, if you're expecting one thing but get another,
yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
I would still eat them, but yeah, not
mint. Well, I don't know. I don't know that they're needed so much, but chocolate and mint is a good combination, and chocolate and pretzels are a good combination. The salt from the pretzel really complements the chocolate. So I don't know that they're needed, but
yeah. To me,
they're welcome.
To me, the only thing that the only time chocolate and mint should go together, it should be ice cream.
So you don't like junior mints? You don't like that?
Nope.
Okay.
And once again, if I reach in the bag, I probably would think they were M&Ms, and I pull out junior mints, I'd still eat them, or I'd probably trade those away. Yeah. And number 1 on the list.
Yeah. Okay.
Reese's peanut butter cups.
I love them, man.
Yeah.
Chocolate and peanut butter is probably one of the greatest combinations ever.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't. I mean, can you really call what's in a Reese's peanut butter cup peanut butter?
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a great peanut butter like substance.
Yeah, it's peanut butter esque, but I would never call it mistake it for peanut butter.
Well played, sir.
All right, so that's our candies, and the second piece is Halloween costumes, and basically my thoughts came from this because somewhere out there people are going to be going to.
Wait! Can I go back to the Halloween candies?
Yeah, sure.
How about the Halloween candies that get laced with weed?
We had a conversation about this years ago.
Yes, we did,
and we thought that that was
that's a waste of good weed, man.
Yeah, we thought that was media scare tactics.
It was totally media scare. Yeah, it was. Every time one of the states was getting ready to legalize weed, you heard all these horror stories about little kids ODing on weed because someone gave away
a pound of weed,
pot brownies or something like that.
And
I think I acutely pointed out that ain't no stoner is going to give away his weed.
Yeah, and I remember that, and literally that was the very first thing that came to mind when you said that. And yeah, that was so on point. Like, yeah, like I think we were at the time we were interacting with the substance, and I think we were low, and we were stressing over it. We're like, oh my goodness, like, and you're like, yeah. Something to this effect, if you see the way we were just, stressing out over this stuff, there's no way in hell that
there's no way that you give it away on Halloween for the laughs. You just don't do it.
Yeah.
No.
So that was rich and timely. Well played.
That's hilarious. All right, on to the costumes, my man. Let's do the costumes.
All right, let's see here. So once again. Someone out there is going to let me send this to you. That way you'll have it.
Okay.
That way you'll be able to see what I'm saying. Let's see here. Touchdown. You should have it.
Opening now.
And so the idea is that I remember when I was in college. That the big thing was for women to go, girls to go as the naughty Catholic schoolgirl. So you'd show up to a Halloween party, and about a quarter of the girls there would be dressed as a naughty Catholic schoolgirl. And so this is kind of like a PSA actually, just like the other one.
Come on, that's a naughty and Catholic schoolgirl. It's like one and the same, man.
Yeah, synonyms.
Yeah.
It's like saying I can't think of a good example right now, but
we're on this. Everyone listening knows what we're talking about.
All right. So
forgive us, Catholic schoolgirls out there. We're joking. Really, seriously.
No, they're guilty, all of them. No, I shouldn't say that. Let's see here. So I think this was 13 most popular Halloween costumes. And so if you're out there and you're listening and you want to go to a Halloween party, you should probably avoid the next 13 unless you don't mind having every other person look just like you. Okay. So, deal. All right. And first one, or the top of the list is Carol Baskin from The Tiger King.
This is that bitch that I was telling you about. She killed her husband, and she either fed him to the tigers or buried him under a septic tank.
Or maybe she fed him to the tigers and put the remains under the septic tank. Either way.
Right. Yeah. So. Yeah. This. Yeah. Please don't dress up as this woman, please.
Yeah, and I get the idea that only certain people would, the person dressing up as a naughty schoolgirl isn't dressing up like this.
No.
Yeah, that's somebody else. And let's see here, number 12, Harley Quinn from Birds of Prey.
Yeah, I've never watched the movies. Harley Quinn, I'll be honest with you, I've always had this unnatural attraction to the actual comic cartoon character of Harley Quinn.
Isn't she like the Joker's girlfriend?
Something like that.
Yeah. That's a little bit of insight to your character, man.
You know what? There's a I can't give an exact I can't name this exactly or the quote, but there's some of the best Batman content out there is the animated movies that they release, and one of them has I think there's a scene with I think Robin is like tied up on a bed or something, and Harley Quinn is like, I think they kind of insinuate that she
victimized him, Boy Wonder.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. You say that about Batman. I think you're right. I remember, seeing some. You can do things. You can draw things that are impossible or prohibitively expensive to act out. So.
Yeah. One of the greatest. I think one of the best superhero movies out there today is Spider-Man into the something verse, Spider-Verse, something verse, but it's kind of animated. It's not like it's anime. It's an animated movie, but I mean it's probably one of the, not just a superhero movie. It's one of the best movies that I've seen, and it's it's really kick-ass. I think it's in Spider-Man into the
Spider-Verse. Is it with the is there a black kid?
Yes.
I think I've seen a portion of that movie.
Miles Morales, yeah.
I think I saw a portion of that movie while I was flying to Thailand. And
it's awesome. It's worth, if you get a chance, rewatch it, man. It's a kick-ass movie.
Yeah, cool. And I also like it how they have. If you wanted to actually dress up like this person, they tell you where to go buy the stuff. Yeah, and scrolling down to next one is Wonder Woman,
Wonder Woman.
1984. What do you think about the Wonder
Well,
Woman?
this isn't a picture of Linda Carter. This is the new Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
But you're right. They're talking about Wonder Woman 1984. Oh no! This is a movie called Wonder Woman 1984.
yeah, it was released, but
I
earlier.
was thinking of the TV show from the 80s with Linda Carter. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I gotta say this Gal Gadot, however you say her name,
Mhm.
she is on point.
Point. Oh yeah, Gal Gadot.
Yeah,
Hmm. You
I've not
remember?
watched. I have it downloaded, but I've not watched the original Wonder Woman yet. But
I remember watching. I thought it was. It was sorry, not the original. It was the one they made like 4 or 5 years ago. When, I think they were like in set in World War I or something like that.
oh, okay. That sounds like it's probably part of like Captain America stuff.
All right.
The original. I don't know. Marvel lost me after like the third Iron Man. I tried to keep up, but there's just so many goddamn Marvel movies that I gave up. I've watched like the three Iron Men. I think I watched one of the Captain Americas, and I think that's it.
Well, it's funny because I once again over beer, you and I we were talking about the Marvel universe and how they were going to end up making a whole slew of movies and how it would all culminate with all the action heroes being in the same movie.
Yeah, that's what we got. I think it was of Avengers. I think the Avengers movies is where that all
Yeah,
took place. Again, I've not seen it, but it's cool. They've had Marvel's had like 40 years of content to draw from. So
so
um,
they didn't suffer from a lack of material, is what you're saying.
right, they had the material, and I've never been a Marvel fanboy, so I don't know how close to the original they stuck, but everyone that I've ever heard, people who have watched Avengers Endgame have, even people they're not even really comic fans or anything, but everyone who's watched it has liked it. So I need to. I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't imagine me going back and watching everything, but I
Well,
need to.
that we you could slay a weekend binge watching that.
I could, yeah.
Now, say was the original Wonder Woman blonde?
Original,
Like I
like the TV show from the '80s or the
yeah.
original the movie. No, in the '80s, Linda Carter she was brunette.
Uh, I don't know why. I must have been thinking. I mean, do you remember friggin' Dave Chappelle's bit on Wonder Woman with the whole lasso of truth? He's like,
I do remember the Lasso of Truth thing, but I can't remember.
you're like, oh yeah, oh, you got the lasso of truth. Oh, by the way, you got big titties. Unfortunately, probably 9.5 out of 10 people who would actually show up as that probably shouldn't.
Yeah, unless you're Gal Gadot, don't do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Unless you're like,
Or Gal Gadot
if
esque.
you can pull it off, you know who you are. If you
Yeah.
can't pull it off, you definitely know who you are.
And if there's a doubt, don't try.
And yep, words to live by, man.
Next, cheerleaders from Cheer.
I have no idea what this is. Um,
All right. Well,
this chick holding this trophy is not overly unpleasant to look at.
yep. And she
I'm
will
not
land
sure
you
what it is.
in jail.
Well, yeah, I'm almost 50, man. I gotta break this habit of looking at these young girls.
Yeah. Break it sooner than later. Let's see here. Scrolling down, Black Widow.
Another Marvel character.
They don't even have a picture on this one though.
Don't even have a picture. No.
That's annoying.
You know what? I don't know. Maybe it's because they haven't. Maybe it's because they haven't. I don't know. I don't know if they nailed down an actress to play the character yet. I don't know.
Well, there's far left hand side. There's a picture of a person in a Black Widow costume. Looks like a what's that chick from Kill Bill? But instead of wearing yellow, she's in black.
Yeah, no, I think this is just a. I think this. I don't think this is an actress. I think this is just a model for the.
Yeah.
For the. Pretty sure it is.
Oh, they should have an actress because it's scheduled to come out November 6th.
Okay, then they do have an actress. Maybe this is it. I'm so out of touch, man.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
Brian.
okay.
That makes two of us.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll be out of touch somewhere in Montana next year.
Terrible. Let's see here. A Cat from Cats.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The only thing I heard about this movie was how bad it was.
Yeah, but at least they have really nice costumes. Though. Like it's one of those things that once you get over how amazing the costumes are, it's like okay.
Yeah. Did you see it?
No, I wouldn't dare. But
Have you seen the play?
No, I wouldn't dare. I hated cats as a child. Like literal cats, did not like them, and so I would never go and.
Okay.
Yeah. Next, Teddy from The Masked Singer.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know, man. My only experience with The Masked Singer is when it's on the morning news show that I used to watch. They would say who was revealed as whatever that week. So this I don't know. This means nothing to me.
Same here. Next one's kind of interesting. Folklore era Taylor Swift.
In late July, Taylor Swift dropped Folklore, the whimsical quarantine album we never knew we needed. I
Never heard of it.
I don't know. Yeah, never heard of it.
Man, we're a pair of old fogies, man.
I think we are, Joe. Oh my God, Baby Shark! Just skip this one, man. Baby Shark.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Baby Shark.
How is it? Is there a costume for it? Oh
Yeah,
my goodness,
yeah,
there are costumes.
Yeah.
Adult daddy shark costume with a sound chip, in case it's not annoying enough.
Yeah. Yeah. This is you hear a lot of people talk about the joys of parenthood. This would be in the other column.
So what is this next one?
Oh, a show called The Good Place, and it's
Okay.
the lady to the right. Her name is Janet, and she's the like this like robot, not like a holographic robot, I guess. That kind of can think of it like a digital assistant that can get you whatever you want. Satisfy your mind's every desire.
Really?
Yeah. So like you have an Alexa.
I used to.
Yeah. So like imagine having an Alexa and you call Alexa, somebody actually appears and then does what you want.
I could be about that.
Yeah, I could too. Great show if you have an opportunity to watch it.
I may have to check it out.
Yeah.
Just how real does she get? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Actually, she does get married to one of the characters in the show. Yeah, it gets real. but it's an NBC product, if I recall correctly, so it doesn't get that real.
Okay.
So next one is Forky from Toy Story 4.
I never made it past Toy Story 1,
Me neither. I
which I
never.
like. I loved the movie. I just I don't know.
I never have seen it.
Okay.
No. And Forky kind of reminds me of Gumby.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the next one, I don't even know how to say. Die.
Daenerys Targaryen. Yeah. I figured this would be a big costume last year, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a few Targaryens at a Halloween party.
And once again, because if they're on this list, you are likely to see them.
Right.
I like the next one. Kind of, the cheap way out there.
This is probably my favorite. I like the social commentary here. Instagram filter.
Yeah.
People listening there, she's some girl, pretty girl, but she's holding up like this big poster board in front of her that and she's got a hole in it. Her face is poking through the hole, and it looks like she's on
Filter.
an Instagram, an Instagram picture with a filter applied to it.
Have you ever used any filters like that?
No.
I'm convinced that that's something that just men don't do.
Right. Yeah, there's probably a show in here somewhere, but it's almost a crime, a sin, a crime against humanity of what popular culture has done to our women when it comes to the standards that are set through everywhere, social media, magazines. It just I heard somewhere that plastic surgeries are for women are going up because during this COVID thing, women they're at home on Zoom calls and they're constantly looking at themselves on Zoom on the internet, and they don't they don't look like they want themselves to look, and so they're getting plastic surgery for that, and it's a
part of me says somebody that happens to probably already had some other issue.
maybe, I don't know, maybe, but I can, if
I mean, it's
if
one
you're
of those
hooked on if you're on Instagram all the time, I mean, all of the chicks on Instagram are they present this false image of the way women look, and if you try to compare yourself to someone on Instagram, and I don't know why it's a woman specific problem, because there's a lot of hunky, good looking guys with ripped bodies on Instagram as well, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, like, yeah.
But women for some reason seem prone to it, and I think it's not because I think from the beginning they've been, I don't know if this is the right word, but groomed towards it, that you have to look this way.
But
from magazines and movies and TV shows and now
I'm
social media.
I'm more likely to think that these people, like you said, like you wouldn't look at you wouldn't see a guy on Instagram and be like, oh my god, this is the standard I'm holding myself up against. You wouldn't watch a movie and be like, you wouldn't see a movie with what's his face. Think of a handsome actor.
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey, great, good save, and be like, yeah, this, I need to look like that. I mean, but women apparently do.
Especially the way he looked in Failure to Launch.
I've never seen that movie.
A great romantic comedy from.
That I'm not familiar. Failure to Launch.
Okay. Anyway,
Oh wait,
you know,
now you did it. You did it.
I snuck it in there, man.
Yeah,
You didn't.
maybe
You
before I could
weren't-
save you.
You didn't realize what I was doing before I did it, man.
No, shame on you. Cat's out of the bag.
You know how they always complain, or not they, but groups complain about how Barbie sets an unrealistic expectation for little girls, but don't tell me that He-Man or
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe, all those toys, they presented the same unrealistic thing to boys as well. It's just
We're not crazy like that.
well,
Sorry.
well, it's understandable why you'd say that. I don't know. It's a thing, but it's definitely a thing. Anyway, are we at the bottom?
Yeah, we are at the bottom, and we're also at 2 hours and 14 minutes.
We've blown past 2 hours, man. I'm going to propose that we just kind of. I think we should probably wrap this up because it's getting late.
Yeah,
but
let's do Skullduggery next week and proceed from there.
Everything else, but yeah, thanks. Thank you. If you've made it this far, everybody, thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
It actually is pretty cool. We may not. I know you're going to be shocked, but we may not truly hit the millions of subscribers mark that we've claimed. But even if it's only 50 to 100 people listening, it's still pretty cool, and thank you nonetheless.
Thank you very much.
But and if you're on YouTube, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still holding out hope for the millions, man.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We get there if our YouTube listeners would freaking share.
Really quick though.
And actually, not just YouTube. Everyone listening, share.
Yeah, really quick.
Maybe that's our problem. I've been focusing on YouTube people, but there's other people too.
Yeah.
Everyone share.
Really quick though.
Yeah.
Sorry to take it back. I really wanted to say that this month is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and keeping with horror stories and Halloween, a truly horrible thing would be to be afraid of your spouse, or man or woman, or have any type of abuse. And so we just wanted to put it out there that there are resources out there. And let me see if I can pull a. Darn it, Joey.
Look at us doing a public service thing, man.
Yeah, who would have thought? Who would have thought? And
no, you're right. This is talking about Halloween, and you probably already said this, and I missed it. But this would be a scary situation to be in. Worse than any of the shit that I was talking about earlier.
But true horror stuff, and I'm trying to find the phone number, and I'm annoyed at myself right now. But just National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Type it in your computer, something will pop up. Realize there's resources out there. You're not alone. Don't suffer alone. Don't be afraid. Don't get beaten. And we can go back to sharing and caring.
No, that was important. Thank you, Joe. Yes, as always, like I say, like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell, hit the notification bell, and yeah, I think that's about it, man. We've done a lot of talking tonight.
Yeah, it was a marathon episode, man.
It was for sure. And I'll tell you what, and the people listening, if you're still here, join us in 7 days, and we're going to do this all over again, guaranteed.
Something to look forward to.
Yes, Joe, it's been nice talking to you, and we'll chat later. Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.